Possible mistakes ahead. Possible mistake ahead. Possible mistake ahead.
Hi. Hi, I'm Richie. And you're not. I hope you're well. But nobody cares. What I mean by that, what is that? The reality is in life, nobody cares. And it's not a negative outlook. It's not a pessimistic outlook. It's the reality of life. You know, people, even if they're being nice, it's generally a transaction, money, or work. Like they're being nice because you're working for them, or they're being nice because you're paying them, or whatever. So reality is, like, if there was no other third party involved, money or a deal or something like that, the reality is that most people, you know, if they could get away with it, and there was no jail, and no prison, and no law, or no physical harm to them, if they could have that guaranteed, it'd be terrible. It'd be terrible. Meaning, the threat of violence generally keeps people in line. You could say, well, no, it's the truth. If a grown man's walking down the street and he looks strong or maybe strapped, someone else that's looking to rob him or hit him with a stick or maybe shoot him or stab him, they might think twice and go, I don't know. There's a threat to me as well. So generally criminals are going to go after a soft target because they want to take stuff, but they want no risk to themselves, or as low risk as they can. Because the real tough guy goes to work every day. You know, it is what it is. But what was my point on this? So when I say nobody cares, you know, when they're being nice, it still has some type of meaning. Being polite, so you can go home with all your teeth, I guess. What's wrong with that, you know? Whenever you're talking to another grown man, you know, it's always better just to be polite, because there's that level of like, well, this could go wrong. Just like if you're dealing with, you know, animals in the wild, but best just to stay away from the bear, you know, or the bull. That being said, I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's what I like to do. That's what I like to do. I'm smoking I don't know if it's all new. I don't know. I think it came out in 2022, I think. This is the Rocky Patel Edge for the 20th anniversary. So it's not the regular Edge, and you'll know that in price. I paid $13 and change, but I was in the city of Denver, and, you know, things in any city, when you generally buy things in a city situation, there's going to be higher tax, higher rent, higher cost. And it also is a lounge. It is a nice lounge. There's cigars on 6th. So if you're over there, you got a nice lounge and a nice selection, and they are a Davidoff store. So shout out to them. But you know, it's same thing in New York, like buying a cigar and the same cigar in Long Island or Queens, and you go to Manhattan, and you're gonna go, you know, to Davidoff on 6th, you know, in Manhattan. So it is what it is, you know. Saying it's the cost of doing business, but it's that luxury of having something somewhere that it's a very expensive area. So this is in, I think, Robusto. I think so. I threw out the cellophane. Feels like about 5 by 50. For some reason in my mind, is it 5.5 by 50? It's irrelevant, but it looks like a 50 gauge. A pretty dark, splotchy looking wrapper. It's Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, so we've all been there before. The binder is Honduran, but it says it was a Honduran broadleaf. The filler was Honduran, and I thought they said Panama. What are you missing there? DR, Dominican Republic, and the main thing is Nicaraguan, being a Plasencia cigar. And that's what I read as well, that this was made by Plasencia. All right, because Rocky Patel, I believe, I'm going to recant that. I don't know if all Rocky Patels are contracted to Plasencia, or they all used to be, or some now are. And does he have his own farm with the Plasencia? I don't. Okay, once again, too, I don't know if he has his own tobacco, but then that tobacco is then rolled at the Plasencia Fair? I don't know. So I'm not going to say I'm an expert on the Rocky Patel. You know my issues on Patel. For the price, I'd rather have my father. For the price, I'd rather have LFD. For the price, I'd rather have Hasil Macanudo. For the price, I'd rather have shit. Probably most AJ Fernandez. So I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not crazy about AJ, but I mean that's serious. So I never really had issues with construction with Rocky Patel. It's really just his blends. So it's not even the tobacco. Tobacco has nothing to do with the blend, meaning, and understand what I'm trying to say here. You could have great tobacco, right? Right? But the combination, like for example, if you have a beautiful woman and she's wearing sweatpants, I don't know, a sports bra. Sorry, this is sounding not good. All right, let me rephrase that. You have a hot woman and she's wearing roller skates. Oh, it sounds even stupid. Meaning, okay, all right, yeah, all right. So you're going to not fun. Meaning you can have ingredients that make sense, but with other ingredients it doesn't make sense. All right, fuck. All right, you're going to a funeral, and you're wearing, yes, rollerblades and a ski jacket, or skis and a rollerblading jacket. I don't even know what that means. You get what I'm trying to say, though? You're sitting there paying your respect wearing a fucking helmet. You look retarded. I'm not saying Rocky Patel's retarded. My point is, though, so my issue wasn't like, oh, he's not using good tobacco. It's the whole blend. You're making a salad dressing, right? All right. Each ingredient is part of the dressing, but the dressing, the blessing, the dressing is, all the things combined. So what I'm saying is, a lot of his decisions on his blends, I'm not crazy about. So I'm not really talking shit about him. I just think we have a mutual disagreement. There has been some Rocky Patels that I have enjoyed. What was that, 1970 something, 79, 70, I don't know, whatever the heck that was. That was good. Old World Corojo, I think back in the day I enjoyed that. Yeah, so anyways, there's been some that, whatever. So, the age limited rare, nah, no. The Disciple wasn't bad, but for the money, $12, $13, there's other cigars I'd rather have. And I know I'd rather have. The Pledge. Once again, construction looks nice. Let's get going with this. Now, here's the thing. If this is the case that Presencia, it was a contract cigar, or I don't know if he made the tobacco and then they rolled it, or vice versa, or they did everything. I don't know. Okay, because I could have swore I thought that he shows pictures of a farm, Rocky Patel. Is he showing Presencia's farm? How about this? Does Patel own a percentage of Presencia? I don't know that either. I don't think you know that. And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not just sitting here trying to mudsling and just make shit up. I'm just hypothesizing. Well, look at that. Did you ever put the button in the wrong hole? That's a whole nother topic. That's how you end the night. You put it in the wrong hole. Smoke your best shit, Gio. Shout out to Gio. Shout out to Sacco. Apparently, he said Carlito on Instagram. He said he retweeted, or I'm combining things, tweeting, Instagram. I don't know what the heck those things are, but he reposted a picture of you guys. But from his thing, that's fantastic. If I read that correctly, Carlito. He met Carlito. Wow, look at that. Look at this. I am just lighting this cigar up. And look at that, look at that. The whole foot is exploding. And I just bought this today, and there was no damage to the cigar. Just took it out of the cellophane. That's ridiculous. All right, Rocky Patel, you're gonna owe me a cigar. Holy shit, this thing's gonna, I mean, there was no damage on the outside of this cigar. I just took it out of the cellophane. And look at that. And that wasn't there until I lit it. As soon as I lit it, this like stress, what is it? What shape is that, though? Is it the Rocky Patel symbol? Fuck. I'll smoke through it. We're off to a bad start. Now this has nothing to do with the old cheap Rocky Patel ads you used to get for $4. Dude, this wrapper's gonna pop. Well, so here's the thing. Maybe in this case we're gonna have great flavor and terrible construction. Normally it's the other way around with Rocky Patel for me. And lots of times I feel with Rocky Patel, it's just cigars that miss the mark. Like they have maybe good intentions, but I don't have that wow moment like with Davidoff's or Padrones or Fuentes. And I could compare Rocky Patel to those. And listen to what I mean by that. Because of price. This thing with tax out the door is $15. I could have smoked, he had Davidoff Nicaragua, like the Petit Corona, I think. Or for $20, I could have smoked like a Davidoff Nicaragua Robusto. I mean, you charge it $15, let's say all across the board in the same lounge. So Rocky Patel is trying to get into that, he's well into, way upper mid-tier pricing and getting into that luxury category pricing. Let me give that a second. This is the first cigar of the day. My palate was clean. I drank plenty of water. I had a nice pasta dish in Denver. I guess you could call that pasta. They don't know how to make Italian food. I ordered Fra Diablo. And I said, is it good? She goes, oh, it's real spicy. And she brings it out to me. And I literally said, what is this? Oh, what is that? Oh, it's jalapenos. I said, you put jalapenos in Fra Diablo? Like literally, I mean like 100 chunks of jalapenos sliced like this in a red Diablo sauce with the shrimp, and there was barely any sauce on the pasta. So it was like eating dry pasta smothered in fucking smoking hot jalapenos. I was not impressed. I told him. Then again, maybe I'm the idiot for going to Denver and looking for Italian food. What the hell is that? Okay, minus some reason, and it's not cold out. Most of the snow melted. I mean, it's getting there. But the problem is the sun never hits the back of this building. You see back there, all the way to the back where the sun is, the snow is gone. It was about 55 degrees today. And if you're in the direct sun, it feels warm, 60, 65. So it was quite a nice day. In the shade right now, it feels about 45. So it's borderline with just this flannel. Probably should have wore a light jacket. But it's still comfortable because I'm not a bitch. Initial impressions, I don't know. Okay. All right, well, initial impression, it doesn't feel like a cigar you've had before or in a certain exact wheelhouse, like classic Maduro or classic sun-grown or classic Connecticut shade-grown. It does feel like an odd cigar. I'll tell you right now, though, I had the pledge inside. 10 to 1, I would have rather smoked the pledge. I'm just being honest. And no disrespect for people that enjoyed this. And the guy from the lounge said, watches the show, and, I respect him, but not a fan of Rocky Patel, and not crazy about this. Not crazy. It's medium full, 3/4 strength. The finish is almost 3/4 inch strength as well, so it does have that. Huh. The carpets are matching the drapes. So the strength is, 75%. And the finish is not overbearing, but there's enough left over on the tongue that it's coating. Well, what is the flavor? What? Holding the smoke, it does have a little bit of a high-pitched spice to it. The black, and there's some red pepper, so black and red pepper. It hits the nose a little bit, but not like, for example, it's not like a wasabi level. What I mean is I'm not tasting wasabi, but explaining, when you have wasabi spice, it like clears your sinuses and you're crying, you're like, oh my God. So it has a good amount of spice. Okay, but besides that, what am I tasting though? Something's lingering on my tongue. I'm not gonna lie, man. This cigar tastes dirty. It has a dirty finish. It has a dirty profile. I'm just not gonna lie. I would never buy this shit again. And look. So I try Rocky Patel's. The Pledge is better than this. Either of them. The Monte Cristo Classic I had yesterday is better than this. Fuck. At this price point, 13 change plus tax, like you're getting into an expensive price point, okay? At my place in World Class Cigars, that $15 out the door, shit. I could have Padron 64, almost a Padron 26, Aston VSG, yep, Milano V, plus I don't know. Couple of packs of gum, but he doesn't sell bubble gum. But if he did, I'm just saying, I can go to another store with the change and buy some fucking bubble gum. Why I said that, I'm just saying, there's enough money left over for some big league chew. It's almost springtime, big league chew, baseball, I don't know. I'll give you this, the cigar is pretty robust. But I'll give you this, the cigar feels fucking rusty. You know when something's rusted out? It's making a lot of noise, but it's not good. I'm just not gonna, guys, when Rocky Patel makes a great cigar, I'll let you know. I'm sorry, if you enjoy this, God bless. God bless. God bless. I've only made over 2,000 videos by now. Even though most of the library, just like Alexandria, my library was burned down to the ground. And that's okay, we rebuild it. You got before Richie and after Richie. We're in the second millennium of Richie. So can this be enjoyed? Sure. At the price point though, should you smoke La Promesa, Le Bijou, Grana Fuerte? All those are better than this cigar and they cost less. Yeah, at this price point, $15. Yeah. You can pretty much get the Oro, right, from LFD. What else? You understand what I'm trying to say? This cigar would not go on my list. It burned through that ridiculousness. We're having more cracking right above the burn line as well. I don't know. There was some like dents in the cigar, but not like it was dropped, like from the factory, like almost like a semi-hollow spot, like a crevice. And that was gonna worry me, because as heat gets in there, you could have it expand way too fast because there's nothing there to slow down the fire, and then you could have things pop. I will say this, there's a slight dry fig note. And I like fig notes. But the two big parts of this blend is the spice, the black pepper and red pepper. And the other part is like literally the edginess. It's like a stone that's not smoothed out. It's like a piece of wood that's not sanded. The cigar tastes rough. And you could, what does rough taste like? I don't know. Did you ever have a beer that just went bad? You know what I'm saying though? Did you ever have a margarita where the margarita mix turned? And you're like, what the fuck is that? It's edgy. It's edgy. Did you ever go home with a woman that wasn't exactly fresh? It's edgy. I haven't. I have standards. We're 20 minutes in. I'm gonna have to post this and make a part 2 because there's a story I gotta fucking tell you. If you're watching this, you better come back because there is a funny fucking story. Am I gonna post this in part 1 or 2? I gotta make a decision before I make a decision. Shit. All right. I'm gonna make a part 2. We'll come back, sit down, clean up, get home. What you gotta do, all right? Wash your hands.